Literally right as I bash Trent Baalke, you go ahead and do this and totally redeem yourself. Let's go. We got Mitch Morse, baby. Welcome, everybody, to JG9 News, where we talk all things NFL all the time. I'm Jared Garrett, and I'm representing the 904 from the 622, and today we are talking about the breaking news. It literally just broke. I'm uploading a video right now on the 1967 Atlanta Falcons. This news just broke. The Jacksonville Jaguars have signed Buffalo Bills center Mitch Morse 2 years, $10.5 million. This according to Mike Garafolo and Ian Rappaport. $7 million guaranteed. They have a new starting center. Luke Fortner, see you later. Mitch Morse, the new starting center of the Jaguars. This is a move that was speculated for a while the moment the Bills cut Mitch Morse. They cut him not because of performance reasons. Morse, a very good center in Buffalo. They cut him just because they had a lot of cap trouble. They cut a lot of players because of that Jordan Poyer, Davis White, over $40 million over the cap space. They had to cut some really good veterans in order to get under, and Mitch Morse being one of them. The Jaguars need an upgrade at center. Bottom line, the Jaguars needed a massive, massive upgrade at center. Luke Fortner was the worst center in football this year. Luke Fortner was absolutely terrible. If there were 32 starting centers in football, Fortner was probably in the 40s. That's how bad he was. Fortner was getting manhandled on every single play, wasn't good against the pass, wasn't good against the run. The interior run game was terrible. The pass protection was absolutely terrible. You wonder why the Jags couldn't do anything on fourth down and short situations because of Luke Fortner. Look at that play that happened at the end of the Titans game, down by 8 points to go for it, down by the goal line. Trevor Lawrence can't get out on the QB sneak because Luke Fortner blows his assignment. Luke Fortner, horrible, horrible draft pick. The third-round pick from Kentucky 2 years ago just was not good last year. Not good in the slightest bit. Jags need to upgrade massively at center. Mitch Morse does that at only $5 million a year, $7 million guaranteed. I think that's a very good deal after what I thought was an overpay for Cleveland at the left guard spot. I thought Cleveland making about $7 million a year. I think that's a bit of an overpay. The fact that Morse is making less than Cleveland, I'm not so sure about that, but I'm not going to complain about getting our starting center for $5 million a year. Very, very solid cap hit right there. Obviously, Morse knows Peterson well. Back when Peterson was the offensive coordinator in Kansas City, Morse played under him. So it's a move that makes a lot of sense in that department. Now, I will say this. The roster construction for Jacksonville is something that I'm not crazy about. I'm not crazy about how exactly the Jags are handling the offensive line. Offensive line was a massive problem last year. The Jaguars had one of the worst offensive lines in football, maybe the worst offensive line in football. It was atrocious. It got Trevor Lawrence hurt. Everything was bad. I can't remember a single good outside run the Jags actually had outside of that Travis Etienne run against the Carolina Panthers in Week 17. Then again, it was the Carolina Panthers who are a joke of an NFL team. Having said that, guard play wasn't great. Tackle play in terms of run blocking wasn't great. I liked Anton Harrison a lot. I like Cam Robinson a lot. The run blocking with them, not so much last year. Tight end blocking in the run game, not great. And I'm not crazy about this decision to just run it back with everyone but Luke Fortner. I'm not crazy about, okay, we're bringing back literally every single offensive lineman the Jags had that started last year that got Trevor Lawrence killed. That was bottom 5 in football. We're just going to replace one guy, Luke Fortner, and that's magically going to make everyone better. Last time I checked, Luke Fortner wasn't the reason that the tackles couldn't block in the run game, wasn't the reason the tight ends couldn't block in the run game, couldn't get anything going on the outside. Luke Fortner plays center. He plays interior offensive line. That's not the reason. Now, I'm not saying we need to not do that. I'm not saying that we needed to bring back Fortner. I'm not saying that in the slightest bit. Fortner's garbage. We need to upgrade that position. Don't get me wrong in the slightest bit. I don't agree with this decision to bring back everyone minus Fortner and just run it back, swapping out one person. I don't think that makes a ton of sense, logically speaking. Then again, the Jags basically did that in the 2017 offseason. They basically fired Gus Bradley midway through 2016 with 2 games to go. And they were like, we're going to run it back with the same exact coaching staff minus Gus Bradley. Bring back Doug Marrone, bring back Todd Wash, bring back Nathaniel Hackett. We're bringing back every single coach. We're just getting rid of Gus Bradley. And it worked out. We made it to the conference championship that year, had one of our best seasons in franchise history. The best season in franchise history since I've been a fan of the team in 2005. So who knows the decision to run it back with everyone minus one guy. But Mitch Morse, a massive, massive upgrade. Not a giant cap hit, too. So, cap-wise on the offensive line, Anton Harrison on a rookie deal. Brandon Sheriff, you restructure his contract to make it pretty affordable. You have Ezra Cleveland, you have Mitch Morse, you have Cam Robinson. Robinson making a lot of money, but the rest of the guys on the line not really making a ton of money. And a backup at the swing tackle spot, Walker Little, still on his rookie contract, entering his 4th year, the 2021 draft pick, who I have high hopes for. Didn't play well last season, but after what he did in 2021 and 2022, I'm very interested to see how he develops and how he progresses at that tackle spot. So offensive line getting a massive upgrade with Mitch Morse at center. I wonder what the Jags are going to do next in free agency. Now that free agency opens up starting today at 12 o'clock Eastern, you can start signing with guys. New league year officially begins at 4 o'clock Eastern on Wednesday. That's when you can officially start signing guys. You can start talking to them today in just a few hours. Again, this news just broke. This news literally just broke. It is 8:31 on the East Coast. This news literally just broke. I am very excited about this move. And what also makes this move great is that means we don't have to draft a center in the first round. The Jags have a lot of holes as it is. A lot of massive holes as it is. Interior defensive line, although maybe the Jags fixed that with Armstead. The Niners cutting Armstead because of salary reasons. And obviously Trent Baalke drafted Armstead, was one of the few good draft picks that Trent Baalke actually made during his time in San Francisco. He's got the same age as Josh Allen, so maybe you bring on Armstead, maybe you can fix the interior of the defensive line that way. Obviously, wide receiver, big need with Calvin Ridley, maybe not coming back, because we botched that situation in terms of not signing Josh Allen to a long-term deal and not putting the tag on Calvin Ridley. There were a lot of holes as it was, center being one of the biggest, if not the biggest on the team, and now that's fixed. You don't need to draft the center in round 1. You don't need to draft a center in round 2. You can go wide receiver, interior of the defensive line, or cornerback. I mean, cornerback's obviously a massive need now that Darius Williams is no longer there. New defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen plays a very different style, plays that press coverage style. Mike Caldwell, a lot of zone, a lot of off-ball receiver. Tyson Campbell, maybe not the best fit there, so cornerback, a massive need too. This at least eliminates the need to draft an interior lineman high. At least you can address other positions of need in the draft on the first 2 days. You still need to upgrade an interior, don't get me wrong. You still need depth at the interior. The Jags really don't have anyone as a backup on the interior outside of Cleveland, outside of Sheriff, outside of Morse. You need backups. Fortner is your backup. I'm not crazy about Fortner, obviously. We saw the position that the Jags got themselves in with Fortner starting, so God help us if Brandon Sheriff goes down, because Sheriff obviously has a lengthy injury history. So the Jags do need to upgrade there, but you can do that on day 3. You don't need to do it on the first 2 days of the draft. Mitch Morse, massive signing for Jacksonville. Had a feeling this was going to happen, and it does. Mitch Morse, welcome to Jacksonville. Really, really happy about this move. But what are your thoughts on the Mitch Morse signing? Do you think it's a move that makes sense for Jacksonville? Do you like the move that Trent Baalke made? Do you think Mitch Morse has anything left in the tank? What are your thoughts on Luke Fortner no longer being the starting center of the Jaguars? How do you think this improves the Jags? Do you agree with the strategy that they're doing with the offensive line, running it back with everyone minus Fortner? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. That's going to do it for this episode of JG9 News. Be sure you like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. There's going to be a lot of content coming today since the start of free agency, start of a new league year. A lot of content coming on JG9 News. And also be sure to check out Jaguars 9, where we talk all things NFL history all the time. Again, literally uploading a video right now on the 1967 Atlanta Falcons, so go check that out if you haven't already. That's going to do it for this episode. JG9 signing off. And as always, go Jags, and Mitch Morse, welcome to Duval.